Namaste, everyone, and I welcome all of you on behalf of Sri Aurobindo Integral Life Center and Aurobharati Pondicherry. Namaste, Sahana ji and Usha ji. Welcome to the discourse of Kala Evam Adhyatma. Before I introduce the speakers today, let me read Sri Aurobindo's thought on art and sadhana. As today's topic is Kala Ek Sadhana, transformative power of art. I quote, "You have painting and music in you. And if you apply yourself, they will develop in you. Only it is best to do it as an instrument of the mother and as an offering to her, and not allow any personal desire for fame or appreciation by others or any personal pride to be the motives, for it is that gives trouble. All work done as an offering is a great help and does not give any trouble." When I met Dr. Sahana and experienced her work, I found Sri Aurobindo's words truly apply in her personality and in her work also. The art is already in her and she expressed so beautifully, and it is always serene experience. Welcome, Sahana ji. Let me introduce Dr. Sahana first. Dr. Sahana ji is a dedicated scholar residing in Pondicherry, ardently seeking educational enlightenment. Her life's journey has been deeply intertwined with the profound teaching of Sri Aurobindo and the mother. With her unwavering commitment, she attained a PhD in psychology and later served as an esteemed assistant professor. However, her passion for making a meaningful impact led her to volunteer at Poonam Center for Integrality. During her tenure at Poonam, Dr. Sahana played a pivotal role in the Transformative Savitri Art Project, using art as medium to explore spiritual themes. Moreover, she has generously shared her wisdom through an introductory course on the synthesis of yoga, enlightening many souls on the path of spiritual growth. Welcome, Sahana ji. Today we are looking forward to listening to you. Today we have another guest simultaneously, Usha Arvind ji. Usha Arvind ji, on behalf of SAILC and Aurobindo Chair, Pondicherry, I am welcoming you. Usha Arvind ji has learned art from different teachers and explored different mediums and forms of painting, including ancient Indian art in the last 20 years. Her journey into spiritual art as a means for her spiritual progress, intensified with Savitri painting. She has guided and inspired budding artists while offering more than 70 meditative paintings as part of Savitri Art Project at Poonam Center for Integrality, Auroville. Her paintings emanate deep devotion that she embodies. Welcome once again, and I invite both of you, the way you feel comfortable, you share your insight into this topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kiranji. Thank you for having us here. It has really been a beautiful experience for me to go through and reflect on my own journey of art, and then to, today what I'm going to share. Thank you for having us. And I'd like to share my screen. Just give me a minute. So before I begin, I would like to just give a sense of where we are heading towards. I will be talking about Savitri painting and Savitri art, and how my own journey of art has been so far, and how it has been transformative for me in my individual journey. And also giving a broader perspective of that whole journey. And Ushadi will take us through her own personal journey, how her sadhana has intensified with this art journey. That is a brief introduction to what we will be sharing. So just to give a context where I'm coming from, I have not really studied art or pursued art formally, because I saw in the previous talks we have had really people who have studied art well and really working in the field of art. Where I come from is it's been 3 years, 2 to 3 years of journey with Savitri painting. For me, that is art. So what we will be sharing is also in the context of Savitri and Savitri painting. To also say personally, I have never really pursued art. And I've always been a mental creature living in the mind. All I knew was reading and writing and sharing my knowledge. But through Savitri art and Savitri painting, what has opened is another world altogether. That is what I would like to share here. Yeah, Savitri painting, as you, I think none of you are new to Savitri. Most of you have been reading, I think. But still to say, Savitri Mother says it's a mantra for transformation of the world. It contains that greater consciousness in itself. So Savitri painting is a space that we create with Savitri and with the joy of colors and forms and with Mother's organ music and going deeper as a collective. So that is the space of Savitri painting. Around 3 hours of sessions every week we used to have. It is a 5-week intense course that I went through. That is my introduction to art. And during the journey, what we did was there used to be a session around 3 hours. Major session in a week is to be 3 hours. In that 3 hours, the painting used to be just 20 minutes. The rest of the period is just to prepare ourselves to receive what we are going to paint. So to prepare the vessel before we pour something into it, that was the whole process of the major part of Savitri painting was. And I will just try to give you a brief of how was it different from any other art classes or any other course on art. So very obviously, it was not to teach art or to give you the techniques of art, how to do a beautiful painting, how to create a spiritual painting. That was not the intent of it. The intent of it was to go to deeper depths of one's own inner self and to express from that inner reality. So painting was not for us for the sake of painting, but to express one's deeper self. How much ever deeper you can go to, in your own inner being. So we would read Savitri lines and concentrate on 1 or 2 lines, or sometimes it's just 1 word from the Savitri. And we go deeper into it by writing, by chanting it, and then playing Mother's music, and then receiving what the word has to say, and then to give it a form and color to what we have received. That is the whole process of it. And never did we say join for Savitri painting, it is open for only artists. We always call for everyone. It's a course for everyone. Whoever has seeking in them, whoever wants to discover their own self, this course is for them. So painting was not in itself seen as a product or a masterpiece, but the process of painting was important for us. And the most unique part of this journey was the power of the collective. A group of people came together in a meditative space to create a painting, to express their own journey of their inner self. So what we so whenever we see a group, there's always conflict coming in, and there's ugly emotions coming up over a period of time. But Savitri painting was held so beautifully. Always we got inspired from each other, shared beautiful emotions between us, and today we have a community of I think 150, more than 150, people who have gone through the course. It's a beautiful community space where there is space for vulnerability, where there is free space to express yourself, and to learn from each other and to respect each other's journey wherever they are, however higher or lower or whatever the journey is, but to respect and to learn what we have to learn from each other. So it's a beautiful collective space. And again, when we start the process, we think we are painting, and there's a tendency of the mind to always judge. Oh my God, I don't know how to paint, and how will I share in the space? So there is this sharing component which is integral to Savitri painting. We always share what we paint and what the painting means to us in the WhatsApp group or even in the sharing circle. So why the sharing is important is also again the aspect of collective, to learn from each other and inspire each other, and to see that as an offering to the collective space. Painting always becomes an offering to the collective space. So in the beginning, there is always a tendency of the mind to compare, judge, and say, oh, how will I share? This is not good enough. Why am I not able to express like others are doing? So all these comparisons come into picture in the beginning, but slowly you begin to realize it is not you who is painting, but it is another force that is flowing through you and moving you through the process of painting. And the painting that is being made is, it is you who is being expressed through the painting. So that becomes very clear to us, and that's why it becomes a unique journey of art. Again, Savitri painting is not a journey of art, but this is an introduction to where I'm kind of heading towards. Like I said, art for art's sake, Shravindo says, art for art's sake, certainly. Art as a perfect form and discovery of beauty, but also art for the soul's sake, art for the soul's sake, the spirit's sake, and the expression of all that the soul, the spirit wants to seize through the medium of beauty. So if I have to describe Savitri painting, this is what it has been: art for the soul's sake, not really for art's own sake. So in any form of art, be it poetry or painting or dance or architecture, there are three elements that are important, or could be called as stages of art or levels of art. One is perfection of the form. So when the forms are perfectly organized and certain amount of harmony is brought into it, it expresses itself as art. And there is revelation of beauty in that, right? So these two is generally seen in any form of art, or almost most forms of art, or what we listen, everyday music, or what we see in the movie, or even in the paintings, ordinary paintings that we see. There is certain amount of perfection that is invoked, and there is some kind of beauty that is invoked. That is when we call it as art. What is often neglected, or if I may say rejected, is revelation of the spirit. The essence of things is often that is the aspect that is neglected. And through Savitri painting, what we gave utmost importance to is the revelation of the soul, expression of inner consciousness, or the essence of who you are. So that is what made the shift. The how art becomes a means of sadhana is when it becomes an expression of your deeper truth. And we took a step ahead from Savitri painting. Alumni of Savitri painting, from the alumni, we had a smaller group concentrating on perfecting the form as well. Initially, the primary importance was to express the soul's movement. And eventually, we also tried to attempted at bringing perfection into the vision that we were receiving through Savitri painting, and to bring some discovery of beauty in what we were expressing. So that is when Savitri art took birth. It was a small group of people coming together. Some of us had training in art before. Some of us, like me, had no training, no formal training in art at all. Ushadi was one of them who joined Savitri Art, one of the first members of Savitri Art. She has been an inspiration and guide for most of us in Savitri Art journey. What played an important role is whether we have an aesthetic vision, and whether there is an essence or silence or meditativeness that is being expressed through the painting. That played an important role, and it became a project later on, and we offered 150 paintings for 150th birth anniversary of Usha Arvind. So all these paintings, if you concentrate, it will center you within yourself, and shifts your consciousness, you know, immediately, and it shows you there is an inner reality to your life. It's not only what is going on outside, but there is a greater inner reality to life. And are you looking at that? So it's a reminder of that. So how it became an intense sadhana for me, I tried to put with the help of my mind, I tried to kind of brief it. What Savitri painting did to me is, all my life, as I said, I've been a mental creature, just the mental curiosity to know things. But when I got introduced to Savitri painting, it really opened my heart space. It's not like I didn't have emotions before. It was very nicely put under a carpet. I never gave it a conscious expression, but through this process, the heart space really opened, and some of the things really revealed itself only through this journey. What it means to be loved, what it means to be held in the presence of the divine, what it means to constantly feel the divine grace around you. All of that concretely I could experience because my heart space really opened, and I could really connect with the greater self, the divine, the greater perfection that is there in the world. And I began to appreciate colors and forms, and flowers became an integral part of this journey. Of course, as a zoology and botany students, I was always exposed to flowers, and I would always, dissect it and understand the structure of it. But what Savitri painting did was the magic of flowers, the beauty that it contains in it, the light that it emanates, all of that became uh, really concretely evident. I could perceive them only through this journey. And of course, Savitri art, when we focused on the perfection of form, is when my eyes and hands started getting trained. What it means to give a real shape to a flower, and how do we bring that perfection to that flower that I want to express, that is containing my inner truth in it. All of that, and I again started seeing things in a very different way. It's not like we don't see when we are not into art, but when we are into art, you begin to see things that are ordinarily not visible to you. And consciousness begins to pour into these instruments, and it really opens up. The greater capacities of instruments begin to show up only when we are into art. And it doesn't stop there. It begins to flow into other aspects of your life. What happened through Savitri art journey for me was everything became like a painting, be it cleaning the house or washing the dishes or reading, or I'm sharing my experience to you. Even this is a kind of a sacred process for me. That sacredness of painting began to flow into other aspects of my life. It began to flow into my speech, flow into my words, flow into every activity that I was doing. And a sense of I not only live in my body, I not only live in my mind, I not only live in my emotions, but there is a greater reality to who am I, who I am. And have I gone in depth to discover that? The sense of I began to shift from different places, and it began to move from different planes to a greater depth. And also, when I say sense of I, the whole ego that comes alive when you create something beautiful. This is my painting, this is my art. oh, what a beauty I created. All of these things come into surface, and then you know, okay, this is something to be refined. This is something to be surrendered, and the sense of surrender becomes very very compelling in this process, very demanding in this process. Because there was several rounds of feedback that we were going through. It was not a individual journey that, you know, I create a piece of art and I offer it to the divine. No, there was a group of sadhaks who were guiding us through the process of Savitri art, who gently guided us. Okay, can this color be this? Can this form be a little different? So to receive feedback as an artist is often of immense challenge, because you get attached to your painting like a child. You're like a mother of that painting, and when somebody says, you cannot take it, you cannot take the criticism, but you begin to open to that aspect also, because you begin to surrender to the vision that you have seen is not your painting. That becomes very very clear over a period of time, because the whole process of art is not turned towards anything but the divine. It is an offering to the divine, to a greater reality of this universe. When we surrender to that, that is when we become open to feedback. And I want to give the best that I can. I want to apply the best technique that I can, and I want to improve and refine everything of my life. And of course, not to, I mean, it's very obvious that peace and silence became a prerequisite and at the same time a result of this process. It demanded us to be quiet in the mind, quiet in the being. That is when we could receive the vision, and to express that, again, maintaining that, not to be, wavered by what is going on outside, but to hold that equanimity, hold that silence within yourself to be able to express. And when we hold it, then we are able to become a channel of silence more and more. This is how I can go on saying, because when we look back, it kind of opens like the petals of a flower. Slowly, it reveals what it has done to us. It is not through the journey that we have realized, but when we look back is when we realize. So any painting has an aesthetic value to it. Often we judge any piece of art through its aesthetic value, but that is not where art can stop. Art has greater potentiality, and like in the previous quote we read, um, art can express something of divinity, something of greater reality of this universe. So art has a content value as well as a consciousness value. So what in Savitri art becomes more important is the consciousness with which we are making a piece of art. The consciousness that is being emanated from a painting, that becomes important here. So Shubindo says, when the content and consciousness of a painting or any piece of art is focused, is turned towards spirit, to express the concealed spirit or the revealed divinity, then it is more richer, more fuller version of art. So that is what we attempt in Savitri art. And that is why it becomes a means of a sadhana for us. The whole journey of art has been a journey of me coming closer to the divine. That's all that's how I could summarize the whole journey of art. For me has been a journey of slowly taking steps towards the divine and becoming closer to my own inner truth, and to contain and pour into this vessel consciousness. What has been a mechanical life, a mundane life, today has a little bit of more consciousness, because I was in this journey of art, and it has always kept my flame of aspiration alive. So that is my journey of art, and it has never been a room of pride or desire, or a room for seclusion from the world, but it has been a greater power of transformation, a means for progress. That's how I would put it. Thank you for giving me this space. I would invite Ushadi to take us through her journey.
Thank you. Thank you, Sahana ji. Before Usha ji comes, I think the experience of yours is so intense and kind of, the way you communicated that inner self, comes out. Even the art which you presented here is like, what you said is absolutely implemented in that piece of art, what you presented. Beautiful, Sahana ji. We'll come back again. And Usha ji, please share your thoughts on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Sahana. Beautiful sharing. I really missed it. I really missed, how I miss our sharing circles. Namaste to all. Thank you for this beautiful space today. I'm very happy to share my journey. I will share a few slides. Just like Sahana, I may repeat Sahana's words. Let me share my screen. Yeah. Hope you can see. Yes. So, pranams to Sri Aurobindo and the mother. Yeah. It was a real blessing for me to paint the words of Sri Aurobindo. So, in a Savitri Art Project. Yeah. Yeah, today I will talk about art as a spiritual practice. From Sahana, we got the emotions of her journey. And I will talk about my journey and how I practiced art as a spiritual sadhana. So I'm not a professional artist, but I learn art from different beautiful teachers in India and in Philippines. In 2019, I started while doing, after my regular meditation, evening meditation and prayer, an aspiration, a tiny aspiration arose from within me to include painting in my spiritual sadhana. So I started with forms. I started with symbols. I explored different symbols, and I did symbols of the Mother and Sri Aurobindo, and then I did some divine forms as a spiritual sadhana. I realized that I realized that when I finished that, a kind of fulfillment, a kind of joy after doing the painting connected with the spiritual practice. So that led me to join Savitri painting course. It was like magical, the flow of painting, the spontaneous painting in Savitri painting course is like so magical. I realized the shift of consciousness while painting and the space along with other aspirants. So it's all a kind of magical. So then I joined Savitri Art Sangha, which was kind of a great, very transformative, a great, a kind of great learning from Sri Aurobindo and the Mother's words. So it's then we started our Savitri Art painting project with an aspiration to bring out the perfection in outer form, as well as the change inside as a transformative power, to experience the transformative power of Savitri through paintings. So we started reading the works of Sri Aurobindo and the mother on painting and art in general. We started reading the words of the mother and Sri Aurobindo. And then it's a kind of beautiful feeling to read the conversations between Huta and the mother. It's beautifully just like, you know, it touched my heart so much that how mother guided Huta step by step, from sketching, from giving training to sketch first the visions and the emotional expression of the inner divinity, and how she took Huta to paint Savitri lines. It was so good to learn these things and to hear the conversations between Huta and the mother. So we considered meditation and Savitri books as our reference book, and we started our journey. So when Sahana told me about this sharing circle about art and spirituality and asked me to share these lines from Sri Aurobindo, it just came to me. Like between them, music, art, poetry are a perfect education for the soul. They make and keep its movements purified, self-controlled, deep, and harmonious. So when I reflected, I realized that how true these words are. It really gave me a kind of a learning, a real learning, a practical learning of spirituality as a whole. So when we talk about spirituality, it's always about consciousness. So we in Savitri painting, as Sahana told, how the space, you know, each and every step, it's like the founder of Savitri painting. I felt like she gave a structure to my spiritual practice. So here we create a sacred space. I created a small space, a small corner, especially for painting. It kind of purified the space, and we did meditation. Again, it went going deeper to ourselves and reading the lines from Savitri. It's like chanting mantra, and then painting with the mother's organ music. After receiving the image while reading and in silence, we have to paint spontaneously the image or inspiration we get. Here we connect ourselves, our inner self, and we receive from the higher planes, and then perfecting our painting. So the four things first I told is there in Savitri painting. In Savitri art, the main goal was to achieve perfection in the outer form, as well as our inner self, as well as transform ourselves. Whatever we do, we have to transform, we have to perfect ourselves also. So the real education for me started while perfecting the paintings, and being with the Savitri lines itself, you know, a kind of chanting mantra the whole time until you finish the painting. It was so magical how one line of Savitri, when we keep on repeating, it helps us to get peace, makes us to experience silence. So it's a beautiful journey. The spiritual aspects of art. Here, to summarize my journey, when I reflect, it's kind of it proves that it's the transformative power of Savitri is so true that I could see it naturally coming out. The transformative power the Savitri has, you know, in that mantric power. it made me to bring the spiritual aspect naturally while painting. It's like a real practical learning for me how to paint consciously with the inner receptivity. Here we gave as Sahana said, it's the consciousness we gave the importance, not the outcome of painting with colors beautifully, with bright colors, attractive painting. No, it's a pure consciousness. So we learned how to do that, how to receive that, how to be in silence so that we can receive and receive that image, that inspiration from the higher planes and transfer it into a painting on a canvas. So it's a beautiful learning, and how not to paint only with mental suggestions. Here, as Sahana told, so many suggestions comes in the mental level, like to make it beautiful. We try to do with a lot of detailings. We make it so bright and very attractive. And so we how to come out of those and go again grounded, go again to your inner being in silence, in peace. So we could receive the perfect colors, correct forms. So it's a great learning. Our mentors guided very beautifully to differentiate the mental suggestions and the purity that comes from inside you, from your inner self, inner being. And then how to put consciousness to our hands while painting. So Mother says to put consciousness in our hands and in the eyes, to paint consciously. How to do that? While doing a Savitri art, many of my paintings, in few of my paintings, I could feel that the hand just did, not me. The act of painting is done by some force, not me. It's the hand has just flowed and finished the painting. Some painting I just sat and finished within 2-3 hours. It's kind of a joy to see that flow from to feel that, no, to feel the presence in you that is doing the act of painting, and we are just an instrument. That feeling is so unique in Savitri art, and that gave me a kind of a joy and ananda to see the presence inside me, and just allowing that presence to do the painting. So it's a kind of beautiful experience. And yeah, here the experience a deeper relationship with the Divine Mother, a closeness to her. For me, calling her throughout the journey, calling her for help was so good. I felt like it's a kind of emotionally attached with the divine. We calling more often Mother for help, for guidance. So it's kind of a kind of dependence on her grace, completely on her grace. That itself is creating some inner movements, as Sri Aurobindo mentioned in that, wrote in that sentence. It's kind of purified. It silenced my mental, vital, and physical state. So it's kind of, I forgot the environment, where I am, what is happening around me, in what state I am in. I'm physically having some pain or nothing. It's kind of the grace I felt, and it's the silence I experienced in all the levels. It's so good. When I reflect those experiences, it gives me a kind of emotionally more attached to the divine, very close to the divine. The Mother is with me all the time. She is doing the work for me. So it's complete dependence on her throughout the journey. And experiencing the compassion of Sri Aurobindo. before Savitri art, I won't touch Savitri. I thought it's too high for me. I can't understand. It's for the realized soul or higher spiritual souls. I can't read, I can't understand. So my way of spiritual practice is based simply on devotion. I kept a simplicity in approaching the divine. Just prayers, meditations, and simple devotional singing. So this Savitri art journey is like a kind of gave me a spiritual knowledge, divine knowledge, at the same time allowed me to do my work integrally, like devotion, with knowledge, and also allowed me to do karma yoga, like offering our paintings to the divine. It's not for us we are painting, we are offering to the divine. So I can summarize just like any form of spiritual sadhana, the art as a sadhana, as a yogic discipline, makes the artist to establish silence and touch the divine essence, the inner being. You know, just like chanting mantra, you do sadhana every day, just chant mantra for an hour. It gives you kind of silence, a kind of peace inside you. The same effect you will get in painting also. Same thing you experience in painting also. And you can touch the divine essence, the inner being. And it opens the doorway to experience the higher planes of consciousness. When you receive the image from the different world altogether, it's kind of experiencing, you are going up, you are going near to the light, you are experiencing the light. Same, you are doing the ordinary, the other way of sadhana, like chanting, like meditation. You are also going up and touching the light. And here the artist becomes the channel to express that light, that beauty, that purity from that higher realms. So this is my journey. And these artworks, I feel, can evoke the similar experience in the viewers. If you see a painting, it takes you to your deeper self. You can feel the light, you can feel the beauty. So it's a great experience for me, Savitri art. The experience it gave me, I felt like it's the mother's way of teaching me the lessons on transformation, the importance of transformation. What I learned as a whole is like, whatever experience, when you do, as mother says, whatever the work you do it as a sadhana. So when you do painting as a sadhana also, it gives you experience. You can, when you go to spiritual centers, you can even do meditation, you will get experience. You will feel the presence, you will see the light. What I learned in Savitri Art Project, Savitri Art painting, from Savitri Art painting, that these experiences are there, but the important thing is the transformation. So I learned the importance of transformation, how to come out of my ego, how to come out of my attachment towards the art, how to go up, how to progress. So these are all the transformative, I can't express in words. I'm just overwhelmed by, if I think of the journey and the mother and Sri Aurobindo's guidance, I'm becoming somewhat like very emotional. I can't express. I hope you understand. I can't express more, but it taught me a lessons on transformation, the importance of it, the experience and all there. It's not so special, but for me to transform it is transform from your ego, transform from your lower nature, So I learned from that lesson from Savitri Art. It's a great lesson for me. I hope anyone can experience. That's why I want to summarize. Anyone can experience, just like you do meditation, just like you do other chanting. You feel the presence, you experience the light. The same you can do in painting also. That I realized. And I realized that the experiences are not important. You have to transform yourself. So that takes you the next level to the very closer to the divine, to realize and be one with the divine. Thank you so much for patiently listening. So these the slides I wanted to share with you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Usha-ji. Both of you have shared your reflections, your experience in such a beautiful way that actually you took us to your journey and kind of, even in your last paragraph, it was written that it invokes, even our inner self. It helps us invoking our inner self. So unless and until artist herself or himself do not go through that journey, it is not easy to take the outer world or to the audience, to make that experience. So amazing. While listening to you, both of you, very strange example kept on coming to me is it is like the way mother prepares to give birth to the child. She gets transformed completely, and then the child also, she designs, she imagines, and then she creates by getting go deeper, and then again comes out, go deeper and again comes out, and then she gives birth. Same way, I felt, I'm just sharing what I felt through your journey, is like outer world looks very chaotic, and our mental, disturbance is always there, emotional ups and downs are always there. For that, we go to art to meditate. And then suddenly art takes you to so much deeper that you go deeper into that and you bring out the essence and express through art. That is the kind of, experience which you made me feel. Thank you so much for sharing this experience. I open to the audience if you have any question. Binduji, you can switch on your mic and share. That will be really great. Yeah, it is journey for transformation. I read out the comment for all of you. So Beluji is traveling, so that is why she is not able to speak. Otherwise, she is always here, and she is right now also with us. And Beluji also appreciated both of you, that the way you expressed, and this is inner sadhana, certainly. Binduji is telling beautifully expressed your journey of divine through art. Ushaji, Beluji is commenting on this was very moving sharing. And Ashima is also sharing, because last time Ashima ji was the speaker. Beautiful artwork with divine essence. Beluji is saying, on behalf of Renaissance Journal, Sri Aurobindosociety, I heartily thank you, both Sahana and Ushaji, for today's sharing. Again, Binduji, yes, indeed, it's journey of realization, journey of transformation, gratitude. Sudevi ji is saying, this is an amazing experience to come closer to the divine. Please accept my heartfelt gratitude that you gave this kind of experience to all of us to bring us closer to the divine. It's amazing. I'm really thankful. We talk about art, we go into nitty-gritty, what is art and other things, art for art's sake, or that kind of discussion. But to have this kind of experience itself is communicate what art can do with you. So that is so beautiful. Thank you so much. Take care. Anybody wants to share or question or I think there is no question. So Sahana ji and Usha ji, I'm grateful on behalf of Auro University, and even Beluji has already communicated. Thank you so much. We'll meet again. Thank you.
Thank you.